I'm Megan. As you heard, I work for Transformer, and I've been there for the last, just over a year. Social media has always been a massive part of my life. I'm a very open person. I'm an open book on social media as well as in person. And so it only seemed natural when I came into Transformer to help our business grow their strategy, and that has therefore informed lots of other businesses that we work with, as well as some of my own personal clients that I've worked with, friends that I've worked with in the past. So a quick question, how many of you guys currently use social media personally? How many of you guys use social media for business? What channels do you use? Facebook? Instagram? Twitter? Pinterest? Okay, well, I'm just going to be talking about Facebook. Instagram's another kettle of fish. I could talk about it for hours, but we've only got, what I understand is about 45. So we're going to try and cram in as much as possible. Oh, cool. As you can see, it's a bit of an unorthodox guide to being social. This is literally my tips and tricks. There is no particular way to do social media. You'll see. So these days, social media is the new age word of mouth. Like the old day, you used to go and tell your neighbour about this thing, you would then tell somebody else. Social media does that for you with a click of a button. Hold on. It's now part of our day-to-day life. And it's only going to become more of a part of your life. So an integral part of Facebook at the moment is liking things. How many of you guys on your personal pages like things by businesses or even your friends' things? You guys like things, or are you guys more like watchers? Likers, raise your hands. Good. Cool. So when you like something, do you know what happens? Basically, if you like something as a personal, I'm talking purely personally at the moment, if you like something as a personal user, your friends will then see it. Your friends will then see that you've commented on it. Chances are those are the friends that are online at that time. However, those friends might like it, who will then alert their friends to like whatever you've liked. And eventually it might come full circle. So say it is something you've posted from your business, you're going on as your personal login, and you're liking it, it's going to come round full circle. That's the hope. Cool. So when you're creating posts, a big problem that I see on social media is that people are creating posts that, I don't know if this is right. People create posts that have too many links in them. They've got too much information. I will see business pages that have posted links and links of text. Chances are nobody's actually going to click on them from Facebook. Facebook actually doesn't even like it when you put a link that directs out of Facebook. They will put that to the lowest of the pile when you boost it. So my tip is to create sort of one-click posts. You want to put a photo, that's cool. Put a link to your website if you're wanting people to go to your website. But don't measure how well your post is doing based on how many likes you're getting on the photo. While I say that liking is good, because it is good in terms of you personally liking something and other people seeing it, if you're measuring your success based on how many likes you're getting, but you've got a post it's telling me to vote for something at a different link, go and share this post somewhere else, and then like the post itself, chances are people are going to do one of the three. And that doesn't give an accurate representation of success for you guys. Very groovy. Basically, yeah, a lot of my talk today is about liking things, because liking things on Facebook is integral to your business. I will be going on to actual Facebook soon to show you what exactly I mean, but to illustrate my point, as a business, do you guys know how to get to your business feed on Facebook? Yeah? How many of you guys know what a business feed is on Facebook? Yeah, but for your business, so not your personal feed. Like a problem that a lot of people have at the moment is that they'll use their personal pages, set up a business page, and then can't find their business feed. I'll show you guys how to do that, but when you are in your business feed, it's important to go and spend 15 minutes a day liking things that other businesses are doing from your business page. Comment on them. Share them if you think that they're relevant and they're not necessarily your competition, but there is a relevance there. And when you do that, it's important to introduce said business that you might share, said post. Say you are in merino wool. Don't go and share something about possum fur. Like, share things that are relevant to you, but introduce them. Tag the person that you're sharing so they know to come back to you. Create a bridge back to you. I was going to do a little thing where I take a bit of a selfie of all of you guys and post it to my business page for Transformer. So we'll see how this goes. Right. Everyone wants to give a wave? I'll post that up in a minute. Anyway, can I get to the internet from here? So when I first started at Transformer, we had disgusting social media. It was not good. In saying that though, there wasn't a lot of knowledge about what we could do with social media. And I think social media for our type of work, design, anything like that, is actually integral. It shows another side of our business that isn't all pretty finishes and like we've done this, we need you to look at it. It's not necessarily, while it promotes our business, it's not purely about all the work we do. It will show our culture, it will show a more personal side of the business. That's often what people want from social media. They want to know the behind the scenes. They want to know that they're getting a little bit more from you than they would from the business facing side. So, I actually only learned this the other day, so in no way am I professional. I'm questioning sometimes why I got asked to talk at this. But you can go and see your page's feed. I had no idea I could do this. It's my new favourite tool. And one thing that I have stressed to my bosses is that I need 15 minutes a day to just go through and like things or find out new things, maybe find something to post that interests me, talking about the relevance of what we do. It might be a website that we've seen, it might be anything. But for example, creative mornings. So there's lots of actually relevant things at the moment that are going around. So say I wanted to leave a comment on Metro magazine, there's currently only 3 people who have liked the thing, so if I liked it as Transformer, chances are our name would show up. Therefore somebody will see it, potentially come visit our page, see what we're doing and like it. Maybe give us a message if we're lucky. But same thing, I could comment on that post saying, oh, it's a great, interesting read, thanks for posting. And our name is also there at the top of the list because nobody else is commenting. So that is one of my biggest recommendations, that is, as a business, whoever's running your social media, whether it's you or you've got somebody doing it, just give them 15 minutes a day to go through and like things. Seems menial and it seems kind of pointless to some people, but it's actually really important to create those sort of relationships within what you're doing. Another sore topic. How many of you guys take and post your own photos? And how much thought do you put into the posts that you're about to post? Do you take a bit of time? Yeah? Would you say that you strategically plan out what you're going to post, or do you just see something and you're like, yeah, I'm going to post that, looks good, off we go?
I pretty much post it straight away.
You do post it straight away? Would you look at the composition of the photo before you posted it? Like, would you look at it from a buyer's perspective and say, oh yeah, I like the look of that, so...
I do. I like when I take a photo, I make sure it looks good to me. Like if I've got a bed, so if I need to take a photo of a bed, I'll make sure that it's all made nicely.
Yeah, so it's styled up and it looks good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So if that's the general consensus, I won't go into telling you guys how to take a photo too much. So back to the introduction. Just always introduce something that you're sharing, regardless of if it's your content or somebody else's. Just make sure that there's the significant tags that need to be in there. It just makes you a polite human. B, you know then what you're talking about. You're not just posting something willy-nilly, and it creates that bridge back to you guys because people will remember it. Good imagery is key. I'm so sick of seeing some social media where the photos just aren't on par with the product that they're trying to sell. You guys might have an epic product, but the photo is bad, therefore I'm going to think your product is shit. It's good. That's what I will think. It will throw me off. It won't make me interested in looking any further into your business. It won't make me want to come and talk to you about it because I'm sort of sitting there thinking, oh, you guys haven't put any thought into how you want to market your product because, oh, social media doesn't mean anything. Social media means a lot, and it's the new way of advertising. It's not going to disappear, it's here for good, and it's only going to get bigger. Traditional marketing is flying out the window. So with that, I've got a couple of case studies that I've worked on, that we at Transformer and I myself have worked on. One was the BoostNZ May Christmas campaign. Trina's been very open about the fact that if we do something for them, it usually looks a lot better than what they might pull together. She's always been quite forthright with that. And so it was really cool to be able to come and help them with a digital campaign last year that you guys may have seen, was the advent calendar for Winter Kiwi Christmas. This campaign was actually quite a big success from what I could see in the insights and the page information that you see on the back end. I was lucky enough to be able to read into those each day and see how it was going and see what posts were working. As soon as we started this campaign, it gained interest, A, because you win free stuff, and B, I feel like because it was looking good and it was looking tidy and people liked something that looked professional. This campaign ran for, was it 18 days? 18 days, and what we were given were some pretty subpar images, well not subpar actually, really basic images, and we had to find a way to make them look appealing in the Christmas spirit. So what we did was, these are actually two really good ones, but we would often get photos where it would just be the product sitting on a white background. This is great, dress it up a little bit though, find something else to put on the page. So we ran frames like this for the 18 days and they gained quite a lot of interest. They would be reaching up to 5,000 to 15,000 people per day. Of course that's with the help of the Boost. You're designing to boost said products, and that comes...
Do we need to explain boosting?
Do you guys know what boosting is?
Yeah.
Some of you do, some of you don't. In a nutshell, boosting basically propels, you pay for it. So that's how this advertising on social media works. You pay for a post to be basically boosted out to your audience, whether and you can select how you want the audience to be seen.
How do you rate the success of that?
It's interesting. I have had various results and I've talked to various clients about their results. I think I've changed my tune. I used to want to run a boost for a week just so that it would get the most likes and lots of people would see it. However, it doesn't actually necessarily mean people are interacting with what you're putting out there. An interesting point, and I've tried it a couple of times now, is that you could boost for 24 hours and that's enough for people to see, do the liking thing, and then it can organically grow. You could spend $5 on that and it would probably be fine. You can also target your audience. You can target it so that it's targeting your friends or people who like the page already, and therefore it's just hopefully reaching the people you're wanting to see more of. Really terrible English, I'm sorry. Yeah, so boosting has various results. You could spend all the money in the world and still not get a customer to your website. And like I said, you can't always measure the success of a boost to how many people come to your website, because that's one thing they just haven't quite figured out yet. Facebook won't release that, and I don't know if they ever will. But yeah, this campaign, from what I could see in terms of engagement and people viewing the post, I'm not sure what it was like when the website was receiving people. We didn't have access to that, but from what I could see with the engagement on the post, there were lots of comments, there were lots of shares, mainly it's because people are going to win free stuff. Like that's your driver. You're wanting people to win the stuff, you're wanting people to interact with your page, you're wanting people to know what Buy New Zealand Made is. So in that sense, I feel like this campaign was a success with Buy NZ Made because more people knew about it. This is a friend of mine who came to me. She's a small-time jewellery designer who is just literally wanting to elevate her profile and start selling some cool jewellery. She came to me for branding and design, and I raised the topic with her that her social media would need work in terms of if she's wanting to sell products through social media, then it needs to reflect the product that she's making. She's got some awesome stuff, it just wasn't working. We have the photo on the left and the photo on the right. Which one would you click on that would make you more interested in the product?
Yeah.
The right-hand side one? Yeah. So it's all very well to take a photo. The photo on the left isn't terrible, not at all. Like, it's a clear photo. At the end of the day, it's a kind of dirty looking ring, but it looks like it's a work in progress. It's not taken in the best light. It's pretty much just been plonked on Instagram, but it's the only one I could find that matched the finished product on the right. So, but it shows, like, this is what she was posting on the left, now what she's posting is on the right, and her views have gone up tenfold. She's got a consistency to all of her posts. She's got a look and feel that feels like her brand. It all ties in together. It's really important to remember that kind of thing. And the simplest thing is, she could end up taking those photos herself, and I would just give her that template and she could plonk it in there and off you go. The one on the right has been clear cut, it has been retouched, yes. It doesn't have to be though. She's got a range of images, just with the simple feedback of saying just style up what you're shooting to reflect how you want people to see your brand. If you want people to see your brand as kind of hunky-dory, kind of I just made this, I want you to buy it, so be it, but you're not going to get the big sales. So she's wanting this flash look and feel for her website, she wants her social media to all tie in together, and it was my job to make sure that it all fit. So my solution for that literally is to create a template. Talk to a designer. It might cost you some money to sort out a social media strategy and design plan, but in the long run, if you state that your intention is that you're wanting to do it yourself, then we design for you. So now, this is her Facebook page, and all sort of ties in together. She's got photography that's been taken well. It's basic. I wasn't going to go and clear out all those necklaces out because nobody's got time for that, and it takes a long time. But the simple case of just taking a good photo in good light is the bare minimum. Another campaign that I worked on, which is kind of different in the sense that it's a campaign for celebrating women's bodies. However, Courtney here was trying to sell a product where she was raising the awareness of her campaign so that she could get people to attend a retreat she was planning, therefore selling a product. So to do that, she wanted to raise the awareness. She created Body Love Week, and I created a series of posts for her to post up on social media over 2 weeks. Her likes on her posts went from 45 to over 200 per post. No boosting, nothing. She just gained interest by telling a story. This may not work for every business. Like, I realise that you guys do, a lot of you guys will be selling products as opposed to a feel-good campaign. However, this feel-good campaign then generated an audience which would be interested in the product that she's offering. And it was as simple as she got a friend to go and take some photos, wanted me to put some text on that she found relevant, that women would appreciate, and off we went. And then she told the personal side of the story from the people who were in the photos and the struggles that they had. And I've never seen posts take off like that. They were getting shared 12 to 13 times. That happens not very often for small businesses. She maybe had 900 people on her page, and just the relatability of it was cool. In Transformer, like, we basically have upped our imagery game in the last 18 months. We've got an incredibly anal photographer in our studio. She loves everything to look perfect. She's like me, but she's got the skills to actually go and do it. So things that we post on our social media are relevant to us, and things that we might find kind of interesting to our audiences. So whether it's the latest project that we've done, whether it's our Christmas campaign, which we ran last year, which was kind of a success. We don't have that much of an audience on Facebook, and it is a goal to grow that a little bit, but at the end of the day, we just wanted to show the look and feel of our company, show our culture, and make that work. Back to sort of things that you can do with Facebook. Give people a virtual high five. Goes back to sharing the relevant content, introducing yourself. If you're into pot plants stands and that's what you sell, share photos of them in situ. Get photos from your customers. And you don't have to post every photo that your customer sends, but there might be one there that's just gorgeous, and it could be featured in a Home and Garden magazine, and you want to post it too. Tag them, share them, they're going to respect you for it. Share events that are related to gardening, articles that are related to gardening, anything that relates to said pot plant stands and what people like that might be interested in too. I said that there are no rules, these are purely guidelines, but they're guidelines that I've found helped me with clients that I've worked with in social media. In no way am I an expert in this topic, it's literally about having fun. Don't be a dick on social media, like just go and make what you
feel.
Pardon?
Feel?
Yeah.
Feel it?
You feel your way out. If it's not working, tweak it, change it. Like, social media isn't going to condemn you for something that you don't necessarily know, because none of us really know everything about social media. We just know that there are certain things. Pay attention to your insights and what time the best time is to post. Because if you post something at 12 PM in the afternoon and there's nobody online to look at it, then it's not going anywhere. I've been doing that on our Facebook for a little while, and it's like, well, wait, everybody's online between 6 and 8 PM. I should be posting it then. And even if I post 3 posts in a row, people are going to see them. So it's just, yeah, those kind of things. And social media is not going anywhere. It's only going to get bigger and better and more invasive into your life, and you're just going to have to accept it. But you kind of have to go with it. And I was naive enough to just think that everybody liked looking at things like I do. They don't. I might like perfect things, and I might be able to sit here and say, oh, I don't really like what you're doing, and I don't really like what you're doing, but I love what you're doing. But that's my taste. So at the end of the day, when I do say tweak things to suit your audience, I mean it. So you'll see in the reactions that you're getting through likes or engagement on your post or comments what's working for you. Zoe's also a client that takes things very literally, so I did try and give her some tips on taking her own photos for her Instagram and Facebook, and she took them quite literally. I did say good light and clear photos and whatnot, and she started to get quite artistic in the fact that she'd post things with great light, but they'd be blurry because she just saw the good light. Or she would, one thing that does work for her is that she'll post a work in progress and then post the finished shot next to it on one of those templates, and it will gain a good response. There is one, just to prove that I haven't taken all of the shots and clear cut all of them. There are some that are literally just taken, you put the frame on and off you go. I'm not really sure what else to cover or what else you guys would really like to know, because I could talk about it for hours, but I had to condense it into a set amount of time. Is there anything about Instagram or anything that you guys might like to know? Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about the relationship between social media and your other channels that you own? What I mean by that is your website, your mailing list. How do you, because you don't necessarily want social media owning all of your relationships. So how do you drive those likes and relationships that you're getting on social media to those other types of things like mailing lists, etc. that you do?
Mailing lists and websites. Mailing lists isn't really one of my strong points, but what we do for Transformer, for example, we will send out an EDM with all of our latest news. We went and had lunch here, we made this, blah blah blah. At the bottom of that, and within those posts, we will either link to Facebook to send them to our social media. We will link to our website if it's a website that we want to go to. At the bottom of the email, there's always social media. And depending on where you're posting, if you're posting from Facebook and you're wanting people to go to your website or your mailing list, then post a link to the mailing list and why they should do it. So we've got something really interesting we're talking about in our mail this month. Sign up to Get It, we promise not to spam you every day. Like, people appreciate a little bit of humour and a little bit of realism with that, and I mean that. Like, I have joined a bar on Wellington's mailing list purely for the entertainment value. And you see the cool deals that they've got going on, and they keep it real, they keep it simple, and they don't spam you. So if you're honest to your promise there, and you're wanting people to go to your mailing list on Facebook, post the link to the mailing list on Facebook. If you're wanting to send more people to your website from Facebook, again, post the link there. But like I said, if you're always posting links, Facebook doesn't like that because you're sending them away from Facebook. A way to combat that also is to put your shop in Facebook. You can do that. Don't ask me how, but I have seen it done. And it's worth spending just the time crafting the things that you're posting on social media to the channels where you're wanting to go. Besides that, I'm not really sure how else you can do it. You can do it through EDMs.
Have you had experience with some customers having issues with Facebook owning really those relationships, so that you need to constantly be working within that Facebook environment? Is that something that you found some customers struggle with, where they're trying to get those relationships off into their other channels? Or do you tend to find that it's fine just to leave those relationships inside Facebook and not be too concerned about that?
I think they kind of go hand in hand, to be honest. You will always have the purists who will always want to do things through websites and EDMs. And I think with whatever you're posting on social media, there will be people who people are lazy, basically. They will maybe click on the website but they won't like a post, or they'll like a post but not click on the website. It's always a risk. And I don't think you'll ever know how to measure that or how to find out that feedback. I haven't had that issue personally yet. I see what, for example, Zoe and Courtney and stuff are posting on their social media pages. Their Instagram always flies, but whether they get customers from Instagram is a different story. Instagram's kind of a different barrel. With Facebook, if they posted something that gained some interest and they were running a competition, then they're likely to get a lot of feedback and a lot of engagement, and that can also direct people to the website. My suggestion to both of those clients of mine would be to, once every couple of weeks, make sure that there is something to direct them to the website or direct them to the mailing list, and it's just a matter of juggling it and rotating it. Other than that, I'm not sure how you would combat that problem and be able to measure it.
We've got a scroll bar on our website that updates feeds from our Facebook.
Live feed?
Is that a good thing to do, or are you trying to mix things up?
In some cases, yes. If it worked, I don't have a problem with it. I think the more social media you can have directed, like on your website, where they have the best of both worlds, is great. It's always nice to know what's going on, especially if your Facebook is relevant and keep things real. Yeah.
Megan, your thoughts about running competitions and getting likes and just because a lot of people seem to like your page, often it doesn't mean that they really engage with the page. Is there kind of a rule of thumb, should you have like 1,500 million likes and then you're the most superstar of Facebook, or does Facebook look favourably upon you because you have a lot of likes?
I don't think Facebook looks favourably upon you depending on how many likes you have. My recommendation when I have customers who come to me wanting a post done for a competition is to keep it simple. If you have, say, like my post, share it, comment with 2 friends who want to win it, I'm going to get bored really fast and not want to participate in it. If it's like and share, chances are everybody under 30 will do that because you're winning free shit. If you are over, sorry to basket a lot of people into the over 30s category, but that's kind of how it is. Over 30s don't have a lot of knowledge about social media. Adrian's a case in point. I had to teach him about some social media and we got there. So, and I've tried to get my grandma to win competitions for me on Facebook and she just gets lost after looking at it. So if you are creating a competition on Facebook, my recommendation would be like my page. You're not necessarily going to even remember whether they've liked it, but they're going to like it anyway because it's such a nonsensical thing to do that they'll forget. And then get them to comment on the post would be my suggestion, because then their name is actually in there, you can see it, and it's not going to disappear into the field of, if they share it on their page and it's not public, you're never going to see it, therefore then they're not going to have a chance and you're going to get angry customers. So keep it simple. I would create maybe 2 steps maximum for them to win something, because anything over that people are going to forget to do, and you're going to get weighed down with so many shares and likes and whatnot. And if you notice that your page likes have gone up, even 20%, count that as a win, because you could run another competition that in a month with a similar thing and people are going to jump on board with that if they liked the first one. Just make sure that your competition is eye-catching in the first place, that people want to look at. And if you are wanting people to share something, make it something they're going to want to share on their page, don't make it something ugly. Yeah.
Hey Megan, what's your take on a minimum or maximum amount of posts? So like, you said, you mentioned before about the peak hours that you know, between 6 and 8, and yep, spot on there. And you said that, sometimes even if I posted 3 posts in a row, at least they'll get seen. But is that too much, or?
I think you need to work out what's important for your business. I would say that even if you're posting 3 times a week, that's fine. Like, it really depends. You kind of want to be posting at least once a week, minimum. I would say between 2 and 5 times a week would be fine as well. We have the same problem at work where we're like, we just want to share everything all at once, just so it's out of the way. Yeah. And I love social media, don't get me wrong, but when it's for your own job, it can get a bit tedious, and it can get, you need to try and make sure that you're making it fun. If you're worried that you're not going to post it at the right time, schedule it to post later at the right time that you want it to post. Then you're not sitting there saying, oh, I'm going to post this. And you're becoming the anti-social person, essentially. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer for how many times you can post. I know that there are accounts out there that I love and they post 3 times a day. But they're things that I like, and because I'm a visual person, that appeals to me. So
it's take the insights into account, but also feel it out as well, sort of thing.
Feel it out, exactly. Yeah. If you want to post 2 things in a day, nobody's going to crucify you for it. Like, they won't probably remember that you've already posted once that day. So, yeah. Anything else? Everything else that I pretty much talked about is in this booklet. Like, it's all written down into such basic form that I probably could have just read from this.
And I've got a question.
Yeah.
So we have a problem that when we post, often Facebook doesn't serve it up into people's feed. So even though we have 1,200 followers, I post might only get 50, that's saying something viewed 50 times.
Oh, like the reach has only gone to 50 people?
Yeah, only gone to 50 people, so it's obviously Facebook isn't serving it up. So often we'll spend a small amount boosting it, like $5. But I was just wondering, we also, so is there any other ways, obviously, to get it, Facebook to serve it up other than boosting it?
my first answer would have been to boost it, but just for 24 hours to people who already like your page. Because chances are, have you guys always been consistent in your posting?
Yeah.
Like it hasn't taken a break in a while? Okay. Yeah, what I would suggest would have been the boosting thing for 24 hours just to people who like your page and their friends. And even if you spend $8 on it, like that gets it out to the reach. Failing that, you might need to look at what it is you're posting, how many links are in there. Even if it's one link, Facebook might not be liking
That's
that.
what I wonder, because if it's a product, we'll always link it back to our
Oh, and you should.
So I'm wondering, well, that's the issue. We should link it to our website so people know how to buy it, where to buy it, easily click to buy it, but then it's not.
Well, are you just posting the
They are style shots.
so it's a shot, and then you've got the link in the actual like written content.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Maybe it should go in the comments.
You could put it in the comments. You could try that where it's sitting at the top, because your comment as the business owner will generally stay at the top.
Yeah.
Or failing that, you could. I'm not really sure. Like, short of seeing what it is that you're posting, like how do I make the mouse work?
Okay, fine.
I think
Yeah.
I would have a look at exactly what it is you're posting. If you're already posting a photo, what if you posted just the link from the website, like, and the computer generated, the link front that comes up, like it comes up with the big box. Go to my website.
Yeah, sure.
You could try that. You could try. I'm not really sure. Or you could detail the post more with the product details and say head to our website for more and see if that gets noticed.
Okay. And also, with the second start about using a personal account to like your own business photo. So has Facebook changed that? Because we couldn't before, so is that where you choose who you're using Facebook as? Because before, if we'd like a business one from our personal account, it would just come up with our business that we liked it, not our personal.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
is that in the...
I really need to make this laptop. Because I see what you mean. They have changed things where you have to go in as your page.
Yeah, so is that how you do it? You can use Facebook, choose to use Facebook.
Yeah. Let me just see if I can understand what you mean. So say I wanted to like Zoe's page here.
Yeah, but you're not an admin on Zoe's page. Are you an admin on Transformer?
Yeah.
Yeah, from your personal account?
Yeah.
So if you go to a Transformer photo and you like it, does it come up as Megan likes it or Transformer likes it?
So, okay, here's another little thing. How many of you guys, if you were to be liking things as a business, or how do I define this? Because this is where Facebook gets confusing, especially between mobile and desktop. I can't, like, as I'm an admin on Transformer, I don't like anything that Transformer posts from my phone.
Yeah, well,
because you can't choose.
That's what I'm saying. It'll
Yeah.
just say Transformer likes it.
Yeah.
It won't say Megan.
So what makes
So then it just looks.
there's literally no way around that. You have to like it from a
That was my
desktop.
question.
Okay, right.
So from the desktop, you can then choose.
From the desktop, you can totally choose. I could go right here and be like, yay, Megan.
Is it awesome?
Like.
Okay, perfect.
I could also choose multiple other businesses and like it. But yeah, if you are wanting to like things as your business, that's where you would go to your business pages feed, which is on your page. So in terms of selling things on Facebook, I was asking Zoe what her aim was, because she wasn't wanting to put prices up on Facebook of the products that she's selling, which is her choice, but my suggestion would have been to be putting just a simple price next to it so people know where to go, and putting a website link on it. She's only getting a select number of likes at the moment because she's A, changed countries, and B, I don't know how much of a priority it is to her. She wants things to look good, she wants things to be eye-catching and appealing, and I, as the designer, had to design for that. But in terms of her feedback on trying to sell things, I don't think that was a high priority for her on Facebook. She just wanted people, and she's got a store on Facebook, so whether she gets sales from that, I'm not sure. Yeah.
might be just for it might be just for sharing actually, but you click the share button under the post, and then you go write post, and then at the very top you'll see your timeline which says tap to change, which you can tap that and then you can share it as your whatever page.
Oh yeah,
That's for sharing though, not for
that's for
liking.
sharing, that's not for liking. So the problem at the moment that this lovely lady at the front was saying was that she wasn't able to like her posts, like her own business posts as herself on her mobile. You can on desktop. Mobile for some reason doesn't do it. Even if you've got Pages Manager, you can't, like it doesn't recognise the two. That's just something that we have to work with the interface between mobile and desktop. Battery's gone.
There's another question.
We're running Facebook through Business Manager, so when I see it, I'm using Business Manager, and I can't seem to find our feed through there. Do you know how to get to it?
In Business Manager?
Yeah. I cannot find how to get to the page feed.
I can try and help you after this if you'd
Okay.
like. I've never used Business Manager per se because I've never had my own business. I've always come into other sides. And when I have looked, I think, at Business Manager, I've looked at it and been like,
Yeah.
what's even going on?
I know, I'd like to get rid of it.
Can you not use normal Facebook?
Only as a personal account, and so on Business Manager all it seems is that we can only see our own stuff and nobody else's. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. If you come and find me after, I can have a little look at that, and if I feel like it's something that I can share with everybody else, I'll make sure that it's in the PDF or something for Trina to give you guys out. But Business Manager for Facebook just sounds like a nightmare.
Can you say something about business feed and how you can, I know you can set up your business page from your personal account.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some other way you were going to say something about that and you said you'd come back to it later? Did I just miss it?
You might have missed it. So for example, I'm currently an admin on our Transformer Facebook page. And I didn't realise that when I wanted to look at pages that Transformer liked, which again only until recently has been re-evaluated, and you can now like pages as your business, whereas before it had to be the actual owner of the Facebook page. I can now go in and say I want to like Zoe Porter as Transformer does. How many of you guys on your websites advertise your social media, like as a click-through? It's not necessarily, my view is that it's not necessarily about the product that you're selling, it's about being relatable to your customers and create a community.
Customers are in there, but these business owners often don't even want to have email communication because when they finish work, go home for the night. That's it.
Mm-hmm. That's fair enough.
They spend all day on social media or all night or whatever.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's not right.
We don't see the relevance, but I think because we're selling to resellers, it's a whole other deal again. We're not selling to end users.
Mm-hmm.
So most of my customers are small business owners or big business owners.
Can I just interrupt there a little bit, Kevin? So for people that sell to business, what I find really interesting, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that we often forget that you're selling to your customers, but you would still have a brand on those products that you're selling to those customers. And for your customers, for them to help sell your products so they'll order more of you, don't we want to promote those brands in the general public to the consumers so that this is an easy way and a cheap way to get consumers to understand your brand and want to know where to buy them from? And that would be why you would use social media.
Oh, totally.
So to me, I've just written down here, I've written Facebook, and I've got her name underneath it, so that's it.
Well, if I can teach my 88-year-old grandmother how to use Facebook, I'm pretty sure I can teach you.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say that I didn't know whether to put my hand up for are you promoting your business on social media or not. I've got a website, and I was one of the first photographers to have a website in New Zealand. I thought I had it all sussed. And I've got a business page on my personal page, and very much like you, I sort of thought Facebook or social media is a an intrusion on my privacy, blah, blah, blah. But after having heard what you said, I'm going to go and revisit it and see if I can do something with it. Because the one thing that you said that really stuck in my mind, the first thing you actually said in your presentation was that social media is the new word of mouth. And word of mouth is so important for any business. So thank you.
And look, we use Facebook when we put out specials. We find that it drives people to the site.
Yeah.
So
Oh, totally. And when I'm talking about using Facebook as a personal page, I'm not saying personally I'm going to go and be like, you guys all have to hire Transformer because we're the best. I'd actually probably never do that. If I'm super proud of something, I'll be like, we did this at work, and I'll share the Transformer link, like the page that Transformer has shared. And that's if I'm proud of it and I'm wanting to show that to my family and friends. I can then choose who I'm sharing it to in the first place. Social media is so tailorable to you. While I might sit there and bag on it a little bit and be like, oh, it can be a little bit temperamental and not accommodating, it actually is extremely accommodating on the other side of it, where if you are using it personally and you're not wanting people to know certain things, you can tailor it for you. So when you sit there and say, no, I don't want to use Facebook, blah, 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 you're actually using it for the business anyway, which is what I was hinting at. I'm not saying that personally you have to use it. I'm saying that as a personal person.
But I can see more potential in it. I do. I don't think we use it enough. That's probably what I'm...
Totally. And so in terms of the personal side of it, all I was literally trying to get at is, if you've got your own personal page, go and like some stuff. Like, go and like it. If you like a business and what they're doing, go and like it. Go and like your own business. Tell all your friends just by liking something. You don't have to go and shout about it by saying, go and follow this page, unless you really want to. Go and look at this page, give them a like. You have to do it. I'm not going to be friends with you. Nobody's going to look at that. Like, I'd look at you and be like, oh, like, I don't really want to be friends with you. I look at some of my friends who post on Facebook that kind of stuff all the time, and I just give them a big unfollow. I'm tailoring that list to myself. So for a business, it's kind of the same sense. You'll go and follow people you like, who will interact with them as your business. And like, it's just important to remember you can change between the two. Don't do it on your cell phone, do it on your desktop, and you've got no issues. I can't stress enough that social media is the way forward, and it's not disappearing, so you might as well. Yeah.
Adrian.
If people are using it 24/7, isn't that somewhere you want to be?
Yeah, for your business, isn't that somewhere you want to be?
But Darcy raises a good point actually, that having social media presence and not doing anything with it is actually almost worse than not having it at all.
Exactly, so go and like something.
Even if you're not terribly active or pushing it, other people are talking about you. If you're not associated with the people or the companies that you want to be associated with, that's a perfect way to show the other companies that you respect, or your suppliers, or your dedication to quality. It's a good platform for building an audience.
It's a good way to keep connected with your audience. It's a good way to keep it more personal, in a sense. That's what people on social media are wanting. That's how the digital age is shifting. For people in my audience who are literally going to be keeping on getting older and are taking it with us, it's the way forward.